Hello friends, once again welcome back here on my channel Easy English Explanation by Pooja Joshi. So this is the third part which we are continuing here today of chapter number 6, My Childhood, Standard 9, Beehive, NCERT book. So let's start with the lesson. Now paragraph number 9. One day he invited me to his home for a meal. Who invited? Who is he here? The science teacher of Abdul Kalam. He invited Abdul Kalam to have a meal at his house. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. His wife was horrified. Horrified means dumbstruck, terror struck. His wife was terrified. We can say that afraid at the idea of a Muslim boy will dine and have dinner in my kitchen, and her kitchen seemed to her to be a ritually pure kitchen. Ritually pure means religion. In a religious way, his kitchen was very pure. So she did not like that idea itself that Abdul Kalam could dine in her religiously and ritually pure kitchen. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. She said that she won't be able to serve food to Muslim boy, and that too especially in her kitchen. Shiva Subramanya Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. His science teacher, Siva Subramanya Iyer, he himself did not get perturbed. Perturbed means disturbed, or he was not confused. Disturbed or confused. He didn't say anything forcefully to his wife that yes, you need to serve my guest. I have called that boy and it's compulsory for you to serve. But he himself, he served food to Kalam, and he also sat down beside Kalam, and both of them had their food. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. She was simply watching, standing at some distance, and she was watching the both of them have their food. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. Kalam wondered whether there is any difference between some Hindu or some Muslim eating the food. The way of eating, is it different? What was she observing? That Kalam was not able to find out. He was just thinking that she was observing any difference in the way that Kalam ate rice or drank water or cleaned the floor after the meal. When I was leaving his house, Siva Subramanya Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. So when he was leaving, his teacher told, okay, you are invited once again to my house. You can come again to my house the next weekend and we will have food at my place. Observing my hesitation, Kalam was hesitating. He was not sure. He was confused that with what should he say after seeing the behavior of science teacher's wife. He was not sure that what should he say. He told me not to get upset, saying, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. When I visited his house the next week, Siva Subramanya Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. So that made the difference. The science teacher was able to change his wife's thinking gradually, and she changed. So the next time when Kalam went to his science teacher's house, his science teacher's wife She took that Kalam inside a kitchen and properly served food with her own hands. So her thinking was changed. So once we decide something and it's correct, we should not worry or get confused. We have to confront the problems. Confront means we have to come face to face with the problems. Now paragraph number 10. Then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. Here what happened? The Second World War was now over and India's freedom was inevitable. It was imminent. Imminent means it was fixed or certain that India will definitely get the freedom. It was fixed. It was certain. The whole country was filled with unprecedented optimism. Unprecedented means seen never before. Whole country was filled with such a happiness and positivity which was never seen before. And optimism means positive. Positivity. Optimism means positivity. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameswaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. Kalam took his father's permission to leave Rameswaram. He wanted to go at district level, that is a higher level, to study in Ramanathapuram. So he went to his father and asked for the permission that, father, should I go and study in Ramanathapuram? So this is the last paragraph of the lesson, paragraph number 11. He told me as if thinking aloud, Abdul, I know you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun, alone and without a nest? He quoted Khalil Gibran to my hesitant mother. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. So very well said by Abdul Kalam's father, Zainul Abidin. He told Abdul as if he was thinking himself, but he told it aloud so that Abdul can also hear. He told that, yes, we are parents, we are always protective about you, we are worried, but even then children have to take their own decisions. They have to go away so that they have some growth in their studies, career or professions or any other things. They have to take their decisions in life themselves. His father again said ahead that, doesn't the seagull fly so high and without any nest, all alone? It seems to fly across the sun, means up to the sun. It seems that seagull will fly. He told some message of Khalil Gibran to the hesitant mother. Mother was hesitant to send the son to some different place, far away place. Your children are not your children. His father told his mother that your children are not your children. It means to say that you should not do bossism or you should not lead your children. Let them lead their life themselves. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They have to make their own path and take their own decision. They come through the body of mother and father, but they are not from you. means you should not impose your thoughts, you should not impose what you want to do, you should not tell or disturb the life of your children. You should not overpower them. Let them search and find their own ways. Let them fall and rise again back and stand up again and move forward. So children are also individuals. They are having their own thoughts. We can only guide them if they want, and we can only suggest them, but let them find their own ways. So before I end the session, let me just show you some of the nice pictures related to Abdul Kalam. I hope you must have understood this lesson very well. So hope to see you again soon. These are the word meanings which you can note down. Meanings are there in English as well as Hindi. So you can note down these word meanings. See, here's some more. Just note it down by pausing the video. Okay, you can just pause the video over there and note it down. You have meanings in Hindi as well as English meanings. Yes, here are some more. And even if you are not able, don't worry, I'll send you this. See how beautiful House of Kalam, which has now turned into a museum. Can you see it? House of Kalam. It has turned into a beautiful museum. This next picture is of Kalam and his beautiful mother, Ashiamma. See the picture of Kalam and his beautiful mother. Kalam in his old age, and one side he and his family is there, mother and children, siblings. This is Kalam at a very young age. He's looking so young. This is the picture of Wings of Fire, from which this paragraphs are taken. These paragraphs, this story, we can say My Childhood, is taken from this book Wings of Fire. This is a place, see, birthplace, the map of his place where he was born and brought up. So that's all for today. See you, catch you earliest in the next session. Bye bye.